Oh, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And I know you guys have looked at the title about the worst customer service agent stories. And I know you guys are seething with anger because you've been on the phone with some terrible customer service agents.
They were really mean and they didn't even apply my discount.
Well, guess what? I was that customer service agent who didn't apply your discount. No, but seriously, I did it for 2 years and it was terrible and I got screamed at all the time. I just wanted to be honest with what story time you are getting delivered today. I'm not going to be complaining about customer service agents because personally, or at least off the top of my head, I can't remember having like a really terrible agent. I've had really annoying companies and this and that, but not a terrible customer service agent. Trust me, I believe you when you tell me that you have a bad customer service agent story because being in that industry and having coworkers, I know some people out there, they're lazy, they're hot-headed, they're rude, or they just can never seem to connect the dots right and lead you to asking so many questions and end the phone call being even more confused. Yes, there are people that get hired like that. This entire story time is just going to be my stories from my experience as a customer service agent. Day one. No, really, this happened to me on day one, and I'm really surprised I didn't quit or cry because I cried pretty easily, to be honest. It doesn't take much. But we had somebody call in and they were wanting a type of bin. Now, I worked at a place that had multiple bins. As one might say, multiple containers. And so we have these weatherproof bins, but there's about 7 of them. They look the same on the website. And at the time, our website was in total disarray. Now it's a little bit more updated thanks to, when I worked there, I sent a lot of emails to the email team to correct that shiz, but they would have these bins that were all on this one web page that you would scroll down, but then there would be 3 left off and they'd be individually put on the website as well. So a few hours into my shift, this lady calls in, I answer the phone, I have my cute little headset on, I'm like, oh, hey, how can I help you? So nervous. And she says that she wants one of these weatherproof bins. So I am in the internal system trying to purchase this because this is not in an actual store. This is a call center. So there's like a little search bar and then there's a place to put a SKU number in. So of course I did not know to make a cheat sheet with any SKU numbers. So I go to the search bar and I'm like, weatherproof, and I enter. And nothing's really popping up. Like this system was just so picky. So so I'm panicking. So instead of knowing to type in weather type, because again, I don't know all the products. I just got out of training. I go to the website and I'm all scattered array and I have no idea what size she wants because also the sizing is sometimes in the name, but sometimes it's not in the name. This is terrible. If it sounds confusing, trust me. Imagine being on a time crunch with a customer on the phone for the very first time on your very first day and having to do this. So I wasn't getting it right. And honestly, I probably should have been honest with her, but they told me to play it cool over the phone and act confident like it was not my first day, because maybe she would have been a little bit more lenient or said it slower to give me time to write it down and the sizing that she wants. But I'm over here like, hold on. And to her, it's a really simple order because she must be looking at the website or a catalog. Everybody thinks it's really easy, but I'm telling you, some companies don't have their internal systems locked down. It's not as easy to shop it on the website. So I can tell that I'm wasting her time. I'm starting to mumble and panic and she's going to be catching on. So I ask her if I can put her on a hold. Now, I didn't know how to put her on a hold, really, where, you hear the music. I put her on mute. So a heads up, when people put you on mute and it's like this dead silence over the phone, but you're still connected, the customer service agent can hear you. So I hear her go, idiot, to me, and I'm just thinking, oh gosh, I'm more nervous. I go to the point person, which is the supervisor of the day, the manager on the floor, and what they love to do is they love to send you back to your seat and say, look up the wiki, which is the intranet, not internet, intranet, which is this portal that tells you how to do everything. But let me tell you what the intranet looks like. Okay, well, I don't really have screenshots of the intranet. That would have been illegal because it was kind of like an internal communications system. But it would be like one question, and then it would be like a whole scroll down answer to answer it. Or you would have a question that wouldn't get at all answered. Or the answer to your question takes about 5 different pages to finally click on the right answer. It was just totally disorganized. I couldn't believe how this company even functioned. So of course I'm like, So I think I put her on hold again. Trust, like it's been a few years. I put her on hold again, I believe, and that's when she gets really mad, or she's on hold for a really long time. Why am I even saying this? She's on mute. I'm hearing her insult me. So I bee-boo-bop over in a panic to this point person, and I'm like, look, I can't figure this out. It is my first day. The customer is mad. I need you to take care of this. So I forfeit over my headset and I give it to her, and she goes on to talk to this customer, and the customer is so loud I can hear her through my headset and several paces away. And she is asking for my first and last name, my employee number, and of course the company does not give that to her. That part I kind of appreciate, but that's still standard practice. So she goes on to tell the point person to fire her. She needs to be fired. She is so incompetent. And I'm just white in the face, staring at the screaming headset. I feel bad for the point person's ears, but again, maybe it would have been resolved if I didn't have to go this dang intranet wiki. Honestly, what was probably one of the biggest blows of all that experience is the fact that I couldn't stand up for myself because, well, one, like my personality type is not like that, but two, I didn't want to get fired or reprimanded on the first day. But then to also have this point person kind of borderline like agreeing with her, not like agreeing with her to get her fired, but you know, apologizing, being a little butt kisser and all that. And the fact that she just let her talk so poorly about me to her. And don't get me wrong, like that's customer service. Sometimes you just need to listen to someone, so they shut up. But I will say that hit me so hard. Another story. So yes, we did sell boxes and bins and containers and those kind of things, like with a lid, but we also sold shelving units. And there was this metal one that was kind of hard because in order to make the metal fit just right with the poles and the shelves, you needed to use these plastic clips, which was weird because this was supposed to be like industrial strength. And here we are with metal and then plastic, which plastic breaks. But that's how the contraption was. So, but you know what? I get it because it's a little bit tricky to do the plastic clips on these types of shelves. And so of course customers called in because they were confused too. So I had one man order it and he did not know how to assemble it. And so I was trying to give him a walkthrough, but he was aggressive the entire time. You know, like some people call in, you know, with their arms up, they're just ready to fight. It's almost like they want to fight. I guess they need it, whatever. But here's me. Hello, how can I help you? You know, I loved customer service agent Lesley. She was so good. Halfway through, I realized, no, this guy didn't want to learn. He's really just frustrated. He's here to fight. So he begins to scream at me at the top of his lungs about somewhat normal things. Like, that doesn't make sense. Why? You know, it's like telling someone hi and then they're responding with, ah! Why? Why you gotta be screaming at me? So he was mad that it didn't come pre-built. But I'm also thinking, like, that's not the store's job. Like, that's not standard practice of what we do. And if it was built, it would not have fit in your car. This is a huge unit. So now he's raging over the phone and thinks that an employee from the store who sold him the shelving unit needs to come to his house and build it. I told him, and I explained this in the nicest, not at all condescending way of saying how it's a liability because if it's not a service we do, we don't have a contract in place, and so we can't be sending out employees who need to be at the store over to people's houses and do that. Pretty much I'm trying to say, like, you're so crazy. How do we know you're not going to lock them into your house and do all Texas Chainsaw Massacre on her? I am such a good person, and I'm also really fed up. I decide to give him a full refund. This unit is hella expensive. You can try all you want now to build it. If you don't like it, you can donate it, you can sell it, you could do whatever you want. And now you don't have to worry about being out any pocket change. Okay, well, it's not pocket change because like I said, it's hella expensive, so he's even luckier. That's not good enough. He continues to scream. Like, I didn't even know he could get any louder than this, but he is now just like, I think he punched a wall at one point. He was so mad. This is when I snapped, but when I say snapped, I mean like, I'm still as nice and cute as can be over the phone, but I pretty much tell him this. Let me get my little phone thing out. Listen, sir, I just processed a full refund, and this is not our policy to give a refund in any way, but I gave you a full refund because I know you can just take it back to the store. And after all this, you keep pushing for an installation appointment that you and I know cannot be made. I already told you that. And you know me, I can't crawl through the phone and show up at your door and help you with this super, super simple installation. So, this is the best that I can do. I don't know what else to say to you at this point. You have left me speechless. He did say thank you, aggressively and quickly, and then hung up the phone. Now this company was hurting in many, many ways. So this is how usually my daily life would be. I would talk to a customer. I'd hang up the phone. As soon as I hung up, it would ring again because there would be people waiting on hold for 45 minutes. And there would be about like 20 people in the queue. So every single day, same thing. I got no break. And since the company was in disarray, all these customers were angry. If they had a question, they had an angry question. And I had one lady call in about her experience at the store. I'm gonna act out her story. She walked into the store. She bought a bin. It wasn't too large. It wasn't too small. It was medium. She took it to the register counter and the cashier said, "Hey, do you want a bag for that?" And then she got really, really angry because of course she wanted a bag. Like, when people, just so you know, when you call with those ridiculous questions and we say like, we're gonna send your feedback over, we're gonna let the store know, what a training opportunity, we don't do that. It's one thing if like something big really happened and we're like, ooh, we need to like fix this now. But stuff like that, when you call in for that kind of crud, we're not sending that along. We're just smiling and telling you what you want to hear and hanging up the phone. We don't care. Oh, fun fact, that happened a lot. At one point, I got promoted from the phones to being one of those chat agents. And again, like, I don't know if everybody uses the software. I know a lot of chat agents are actually robots. So I can't speak for all of the companies, but I bet this company still uses that, where when you're chatting with someone and the customer is typing, we can see what they're typing out before they hit enter. So they think like, of course we can't see it. So a lot of times they type out insults or really aggressive messages, and like probably 80% of the time you then see them hit backspace and then they write something out that is more intelligent and kinder, but we know what they said. This next story happened a lot. So what would happen is somebody would call in and they would need to speak to a manager. Usually conversations with me, like I did not accidentally escalate them to make it where they needed to talk to a manager, because after so many months being there, I'm telling you, I was the pro. Like I had some negotiating power. They always wanted to train me on all 5 platforms. I mean it, I was good. I have the right to make these stories and complain. But sometimes they were just determined to talk to a manager. So you can't always change everybody's minds. Or something else happened, they were following up. So I'd be like, okay, like, hold on one second. So what we'd have to do is put them on hold, and I'd have to physically find a manager to make sure the message got delivered. There's no way to always email or Skype them. Sometimes it's best to tell them in person, get a Post-it note ready, and deliver the message. So there was this one lady who was actually at one point my supervisor. The worst supervisor ever. She personally didn't like me, but then I found out from other people she was a supervisor for that she was terrible. She also had this vision for the call center that it was like a high school type thing because she had her clique and she loved to gossip about people and socialize, and then she would love to reject the people she didn't like, and sadly she didn't like me, but it's whatever. I did not want to be friends with her, but still, it's really hard having your supervisor for no reason personally hate you and be lazy, but make sure she's extra lazy to helping you out. So I would let her know and she wouldn't call them back. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Oh, hey, it's you again. Did you hear back from that manager? Of course not. That's why you're calling. Let me try to rearrange this. I don't know what happened. We are so backed up. Put on hold. Go back over to this supervisor, and there she is socializing. She's practically crowd surfing amongst her people. So it'd be one thing if she was actually really, really busy, but she wasn't. And this would happen all the dang time. But imagine from my perspective when this customer calls me and they get me again, like twice in one day, what luck. They're starting to think that I am hiding the manager from them or that I'm incompetent in some sort of way. So these customers start getting aggressive with me. So why in my day do I need to get yelled at for something that I didn't do and that I have no control over? But I get it. This customer over here thinks I do, but I don't. It's just we had bad management. Drop the phone. I got one more story for ya. And don't worry, the fun is not over. Once I take the time to sit down and reflect more about this, I bet I have enough material for a part 2 video, so you're gonna have to let me know in the comments if I should do that. But okay, this one was kind of weird. So what would happen is when people would get something shipped to them, we would need to do a damage claim with UPS if it arrived broken in any sort of way. And oftentimes when we do that, UPS wants to see the original packaging. I know that a lot of people break down the boxes, discard them, and forget to even take picture proof of it. Like, trust me, I'm a customer too. I online shop. I know how it feels to be on your end. So when I'm calling and you're finally reporting this damaged item and you've already pitched the box, it's cool. I'm not gonna yell at you. And it's not gonna keep me from doing the damage claim. I am just trying to fill out a form. So I talked to one guy and he's kind of talking while mumbling, while moving around, talking about like he doesn't know if he has the original box. And I tell him, if you don't have the original box, it's okay. If they take a long time to search or I hear them struggling trying to like pull it out of the trash, I jump right in. And that's the case with this guy. Is like he's like, oh, let me look in the trash. And he spends about 30 seconds in the trash and I jump on the phone and I say like, listen, like I understand like if the box is all messed up from being in the trash or you can't get to it, it is totally fine, just let me know. Maybe he doesn't hear me, but I can hear him grunting like right into the phone. And he's still working to find this in the trash. It's a little awkward, but it's like, okay, it must be like, he must eye it at the bottom of the bin and he's just really digging for it. He starts talking to me again, but his tone of voice has become ugly. He starts yelling at me about how dare I make him go through the trash as a customer, struggle to get this stupid original packaging, and I just need to accept that I'm not going to get it. I need to give him his replacement right now. Let's just get this straight. I hated my job. I never hated anything more than this. And people would talk like this to me and it would just punch my self-esteem. I'd come home and I would cry. And I would also get mad at myself because I didn't stand up for myself. I was a coward and I buckled down, But that's kind of what you need to do. Honestly, looking back, I should not have been mad at myself because I kept it professional. And at that time, like when he said that to me, I wasn't gonna sugarcoat it. I just said, okay. And I was really ugly and I just did it. And I said, an email has been sent to you. You have your replacement. And then he just was like, good. And then he hung up the phone and I just hung up the phone. And you better believe whenever anybody was nasty to me, I left notes. I can leave customer service notes. So fun fact, if you are mean to a customer service agent, most of the time their internal systems let you leave a note. So let's say you're kind of relying, like you have a situation that's a little gray area and you're relying on having a really nice agent help you out with like a refund or a replacement. You're gonna pull up those notes and if you were mean to their coworker, they're not budging. They're not gonna help you. You're not gonna get a freebie 10% off, nothing. So just as a little heads up, because even if you don't want to be nice to a customer service agent, you should. That's a life hack. You're welcome. Subscribe if you want to join the fam bam, because like you just heard, not only are we sweet and kind, we are professional and we do things right. So, okay, yeah. So love you, mean it, bye. Stop.